So this might be going a little bit overboard, but if you want some free fertilizer, I do this once a week now. I make a weed tea. So let me just show you what that kind of looks like. Smells basically, if you've ever been to a horse ranch or cow, that's what it smells like. Not too good. And I do have that cover because the flies will get in here, and you know, you don't want to like make a breeding ground for flies and mosquitoes and all that stuff. So I do keep it covered. And then I wanted to also show you later on when I'm gonna pour it, I have two different water containers, and I use this one because this one has smaller holes, and the whole goal is there might be weed seeds in there. I don't want to be just like fertilizing my lawn with seeds that are going to just produce more weeds for me to pull. I'm already at war with them every day. So I use this one, not this guy where, yeah, all the seeds could easily just flow out. You know, hopefully these smaller holes kind of prevent that. And so what I do is, you know, I just pull weeds around. I mean, I have a million weeds, but I don't have a demonstration right here. Yeah, here, I'll just pull this Oriental false hawk's beard. You know, it's a pretty plant, so I actually let these ones proliferate in the lawn. But yeah, once they're done, just get them into the little temporary storage, and then I'll take like half a pile, you know, put it in the bucket, and then water it down, obviously. If you're going to do it real professionally, they say rainwater, but you know, I don't have like a rain collector or anything like that. But yeah, and then get yourself something sturdy to stir it with. Technically it can be ready every 3 days. I just do it once a week. That's kind of how I do it. Today's Sunday. Tuesday the trash comes, so basically I'll be able to use, like, you know, I'm gonna get all the water out of there, and then I can just pour all the leaves, the wet leaves, kind of into like an old bag of soil and just throw it away like that. Because if you have like a brown bag, you know, the wet will just leak right through it. So, and so, you know, I don't want to put all that material into, you want to dilute this stuff because it is pretty strong. You know, it's got the potassium, carbon, nitrogen, everything you need. You're supposed to do like 4 parts water to 1 part of your tea. So I have like an extra container, just helps filter out some of the solid matter, right? And now I'm gonna fill the rest of this with water. You can already see the flies, they want it. So nope. Now let's fertilize. Give the peach tree some juice. My grape tree. Definitely give you some juice because you are producing little grapes. Now I'm gonna take a lot of cuttings of this thing for next, when it goes dormant next year, that's for sure. Give all my fruit trees. These are the extra ones. I might get them in the ground later on, but for right now, I'm just growing these in containers back here. It's, this area doesn't get that west sun. It's shaded from the west, so no afternoon sun. So I put a lot of the plants that I don't want to receive like the full heat, because container plants dry out real easily, right? In that little pot, it just, the water drains through. And so you don't really want your containers in a hot spot, especially if you think about the plastic, or some are metal, right? It'll just basically burn up your roots. I've lost some apple trees like that. Now, since you don't have, I mean, you get a lot. Like I'm gonna have like 5 or 10 of these, you know, pails before I finish off that whole 5-gallon bucket. But I am selective, kind of. I pick the plants I really care about more. for the ones that are gonna receive, you know, the weed tea. And this is Philadelphia fleabane, randomly showed up. Really happy surprise. I hope it spreads next year. I'm sure it will. And then this ground cover is actually horse herb. There's a million different names for it. I forget the other names. And for a while I was trying to go to war with it, and then I did some research, and you can't win. And it's native to Texas. Bees can pollinate these little yellow flowers. It looks really pretty, actually. It's very soft. So I'm actually rooting for it now instead of grass. You know, with grass, you get these dead spots, right? Nothing looks good. I hate grass. That's why I have that wildflower garden. But yeah, so I'm really hoping that this stuff just comes over here. Apparently it can do really well in the shade too. So in the front, where I have a big old water oak or something, yeah, I would like this stuff to spread over there. And it's kind of starting to, so we'll see.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling? The wind in the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing. And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing. The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind. When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, "Fellas, it's too rough to feed you." At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, "Fellas, it's been good to know ya." The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters. Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice-water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. The iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered.